Hello everyone, this is Michael. It's a toasty 30 degrees here in Shanghai, China. You can hear in the background my little kitty cats are running around causing a bit of havoc. I'm wearing my awesome Charizard t-shirt today. But today is not kind of a good day in a sense. And the reason being is I want to talk about something. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I want to own up to something. And own up to my side on terms of the situation. The reason was that I made a video basically in 2017 and I made it on Justin Jewario Carmichael, and everyone knows who he is, everyone knows what he did. At the time when I made the video, I didn't know what kind of individual Justin was. I knew who I perceived him to be and how many people perceived him to be. Then he was accused by his accusers, many of his accusers, of the abuse, the grooming, and the way he treated people of the female gender. Everything I've learned has been horrifying, to say the least. Not just as an individual, someone who has girls of his own, who has girlfriends, who understands the difference between right and wrong, because I think there is an ethical standpoint that comes to anything when you're weighing up a decision. And also when you get into a position of power, like Justin did in a sense, you are able to do one of two things. You can either utilize that power in the right way, or utilize it in the very bad way, in the way that he was accused of doing. And again, I will use the word accused a lot in this video because he's not here to defend himself. Despite the fact that, he did it, but he's not here to defend himself. And I do believe his accusers, so I will point that out. But at the same time, he wasn't tried for anything. He never, was arrested for anything. So I can't literally say he did this. Right now, the only thing we have is the court of public opinion. But after watching a video made by The Infuser, which was the Change the Channel video, and it was talking about a couple of things. One, it was talking about Channel Awesome, Doug Walker, his brother Rob, and the rather abusive individual who was the CEO. His name kind of scared, I can't remember it because he's that unmemorable, but at the same time, he is an individual who just, he's an asshole. So, I spoke about Justin in my video, talking about how much of an amazing human being he was and how much of a big loss he was to everyone, And one of the reasons I've left that video up was because one of the frame of mind I was in, I went through a lot of toxic and abusive stuff in my life. So because I went through all that, then it happened, and I kind of I clung to the most positive things that I could. I watched all of Justin's videos, I went through his entire channel and used to just admire, his ability to get through things. As also someone who committed suicide failed, I'll say failed, but who committed suicide and failed at suicide, I found myself having a common bond with him. But at the same time, when all this stuff came to light, I didn't say anything. I didn't believe it, and I also lashed out in my own private Facebook post at his accusers, which I shouldn't have done. Because no matter how much I value him, or not value him anymore, valued him, I would say, or value anyone, at the end of the day, if you do something despicable, then you're not the person we all think you are. You're not the great human being. You can look at guys like Jimmy Savile, who had his most atrocious, rape situations covered up by the BBC. Bill Cosby is another one, O.J. Simpson. You can't justify that kind of behavior, but again, we have tried. R. Kelly is another one. We tried to justify and cover for these people, because they were our heroes. You know, they were people that we loved, that we cared about, people that we looked up to. But then we come to the realization that these were just people. Hero worship is... I've been in trouble with hero worshipping a couple of times, actually. Meeting people that I thought were amazing human beings who turned out just to be flawed and uncharacteristic assholes who just didn't really care for their fans. I'm not saying, as you know, as an actor myself and who has a fan base, it's up to you how you handle that fan base. But the one thing you should never do is abuse that fan base. You should never mistreat that fan base. You should never look at stuff like freaking, you know, sex, for instance. And Justin had a very young fan base. He abused that fan base. And all I can say in terms of the way I treated the situation and the way that I dealt with the situation was wrong. And I apologize to anyone who was hurt by him. Because you matter, your feelings matter. And to be honest, that should never go away. Because by committing suicide, he became a martyr in a sense. He became a poster boy for people with mental illness, because that's what we thought happened. No one knew the truth of what happened until it was too late. Until the change of channel situation happened, until Channel Awesome released all their docs. And it left people like me shaken. I didn't believe it. I never believed it. But I do now. The past 3 years have left me reconsidering my life choices, thinking about things on a different level and gaining a bit more perspective. As someone who's also been a victim himself, and yes, I have been a victim, we are quick to blame people who come out and who state, I was a victim, and who are abused by others. We lash out at them. We treat them like garbage. And we wonder why they don't come out, why they don't go to the police. 9 times out of 10, the police don't help. They treat it as, okay, we're gonna, put you face to face with your accuser. Like, the fuck? Why do you want to be in the same room as the person that, raped you? You don't. Going to people who these Jane Does had trusted in Channel Awesome, and what they did was they fired the guy, but they kept it hush hush. What they should have done is they should have went to the police. Justin should have been paying for his crimes, but he got out scot-free. And I assume the reason why he took his own life, and don't quote me on this because I don't know, was because that either one, he couldn't deal with the monster that he became, or two, it all caught up with him and he was afraid that he was going to go to jail. I admired him for everything he stood for, and I don't admire him anymore. People like Justin don't deserve any compassion, any love, anyone defending them, because it's non-defendable. You can't defend that. You can't defend that behavior. All I can say is just be more accountable for yourselves. If you're faced yourself in that kind of situation and you think, oh, this seems cool, it takes one moment of mistrust and hurt and to take away something that you shouldn't have taken. He had no right to assault these women, and that's what he did. No right at all. Being a man doesn't give you a right over a woman. And if Someone says no, no means no. And sometimes I think we forget this, because we tried harder and harder and harder to maintain that control over another human being, and it's bullshit. No one deserves control over another human being. Not a man, not a woman, not a trans person, not anyone part of the LGBTQ community. The only people we should be having control over is ourselves. Anyway, that's my apology. I wish I could say more, because, you know, I was such a fucking idiot. There also comes with hero worship. We put our trust in too many people who we think are our betters, when in the end they're just human, like the rest of us. People who are doomed by choices. People who are not accountable. Thus is the conundrum. I hope everyone is having an amazing day today. I am having a lazy Monday today myself. This video is kind of next to my list of things that I wanted to do, because I feel like I should make myself accountable just like anyone else for the things that I did, like hero worshipping and not believing the accusers when they said it. That's my stupidity, and this is me being accountable for that. Respect, love. Hope you have a good day. And this has been Michael saying bye-bye for now, and I shall see you very, very soon. Bye.